Okay, so I am a little bit late to this one, I will admit. As you can see, it's literally just turned Tuesday for me, so I'm a little bit late. I've been traveling around, alright, so in Kuala Lumpur right now. That's why you can see, you know, I'm in some random room, right? So, anyway, just going over last week. Monday, good short. Tuesday, I think it was a short, we lost. And then, oh no, yeah, I think so. And then Wednesday, I think I won a short again. I think Wednesday and Monday were like the same trade basically, and it's the usual banger reversal. So yeah, as you can see, I'm already you know that's for Sunday though. Okay, we'll get to that. All right, but end of the week up just under 2%. Not bad to be honest. If we get to the charts, here we got M and Q because I'm on the micros right now, as you know, because the BA has been pretty bad. All right, so yeah, look, pretty simple trade. On the 5 minute, we took out this high to the left, big high to the left. We came back down on the 5 minute and we closed under the high. Okay, so confirmed for me that we would want to reverse. What I would have looked for is I would look for it to close above the high and then rebalance into something here on the lower time frame and then continue higher. Okay, that would be my PXH entry. For me, that didn't happen. Okay, so 5 minute came up, we came back down and we closed under. All right, so I was already thinking, boom, 5 minutes telling me reversals. All right, we'll have these lows down here to aim for. Okay, just pre-market lows. Uh, Looked on the 1 minute. All right, we see this inverse of this here. We pull back into it, respect it, and I entered like basically to somewhere around here. Can't remember the exact minute, but it's also the right time for me too. So entered that, and then literally to fill this busy here. That was it. Literally just to fill that busy, basically. Um, but it just raced down so fast. Like I didn't actually have a TP set because I was like, what do I want to aim for? Because normally I'd just aim for like 50 points, and on a Monday, to be honest, I'd aim for like 30. But because the stop was a little big at the start, I had to stop like there. So it was like 30 points. I was like, do I want to do a 1-to-1? Not exactly, to be honest. So I was like, okay, I'll at least aim for 50. And I was like, all this might want to get filled though. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna have a TP. So I ended up getting out at like 72 points. So literally after this massive wick came down here, you can see that like we just fired straight down. I just closed at the bottom, as I normally do in these situations. Like if I'm over my 50 points, because 50 points is normally my max TP. So if I'm over it, this is what I'll literally do. What I could do is I could also move my stop loss to 50 points. But look, see, it would have just got it and then continued. So that would be a bit annoying. But could have took, yeah, could have did a lot more. But followed the plan and worked out pretty well. So that was that. It was low risk, so that's why it wasn't as big a percentage as it would normally be. It would be if I was doing normal risk, it would be quite a big percentage on the account. It would have been like 2 point, so maybe 3% actually. But yeah, so that's what it was. But if this could load, yeah, my MacBook has been really weird today. I'm also with no mouse, so it's a little slow. I know it is a little slow. But look, so Tuesday, now it's a whole week ago now. I'm trying to remember what I did. This was really a silly trade. I'm not gonna lie, this was pretty dumb. So the whole like idea with this was that this I think took something to the left. I'm pretty confident this took something to the left. We pushed down, aiming for these lows. We didn't take them, and I don't know why I was just like wanted to see the lows taken before we bought up. Um, so yeah, so basically, I was actually the thing is, see right here, I was bullish. Like I was literally looking at this right here, and I was looking to buy, but I changed it last second. I mean, I literally just because I saw this right, and this is actually pretty dumb when I think back, but I saw this order block off this high, get respected to the 50%, and then this candle, see this 1 minute that closed like that. No, it's just, this is silly, to be honest. This is a silly trade. This is one of them ones where like it doesn't even count as your data, right? Because you made a mistake. It wasn't the system at all. It was you. You made a big mistake here. We literally inversed on the 1 minute. We came back. We tapped into this BISI to go higher. Okay. For some reason, I just thought this would have more power. For whatever reason, in that split second, I noticed as soon as I put the trade on, I made a mistake. That's why I closed early. So, the TP or the SL would have been up here, but I closed at literally like, I think it was even less than 10 points. I just noticed my mistake. I was like, hold on, like this isn't gonna go where I wanted to go at all. Okay, so yeah, I just think in my mind I wanted to see this low get taken out before we bought up, but that doesn't always happen, and this is a exact reason for it. To be honest, I should have took the buy. I was looking to buy. We literally inverse the inverse, and then we tapped into the BISI to go higher. I should have waited for the reaction of this. That would have been the right move. Okay, for this short to even make sense, one, we should have had manipulation here. This don't go off this. This is bad. I don't know what I was thinking here. This should have been manipulation, okay, for it to go lower. If this had manipulation, we can at least close past the 50% of that BISI, then could look to get in for shorts. This was just dumb. This was dumb. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, it was also low risk, so I really didn't lose a lot. It was like 0.7 or something, I think it was. Yeah, no, 0.2. 0.2. So it was really insignificant, that loss, but it's just really dumb. So just don't do this. Overall, we're just looking to go up. Okay, everything's targeted. Everything's saying to go up. I don't know why I did that. I actually don't know why, but yeah, just like target fixation a wee bit, I guess. So tunnel vision it. But Wednesday, the last good day of last week, if we look, okay, so same as Monday, pretty simple. We came up, took these highs. I was waiting to see what we did after we took the high. Would we, displace higher, respect, and then continue higher? No, we did not do that. I almost thought we were about to with this, to be honest, because we tapped into this, but it wasn't enough of displacement, and especially these hit wicks. So 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks. We've souped, we SMT'd here. Okay, we pushed down, we inversed here on the 1. I entered, literally, I had like a limit set just halfway up. As you can see, this was a bit of a rough one, to be honest. I'm glad I had my SL where I had it, because normally, to be honest, I don't like risking a lot, me personally. I would have wanted to put it here, but there was something just told me that I should cover the manip today, which you should always do, by the way. Always cover the manipulation, because this stuff does happen. Lately, it's just not really been happening, and if something like this does happen, it's because we're going to go higher. Okay, but we inverse to go lower, and we have manipulation up here. So I was pretty confident on this, and we took out this high too. So we took out the high. We didn't displace above to show we wanted to go bullish, so it's more likely for us to have that reversal. Then we had internal manipulation, then we had a push down. Like, there's so many things confirming this trade. It just had to go there, to be honest, in my mind. So just targeted this BISI to go higher. It ended up just selling off anyway. Could have another one I could have just held on to forever, but ended up getting 36 points. It just literally targeted C of that BISI, and that was it. So yeah, not a bad one, just a bit of drawdown, but it's no biggie, to be honest. If I had waited for some closes here, I probably could have caught a way better entry. I probably would have entered like here, if I'm honest. I wouldn't have entered here, obviously, because but overall the trade just makes so much sense. So that first displacement candle down would just click the entry, but ends up about the same. So yeah, also I did move the stop to there after we started to displace, because you don't want to come back up past that. So yeah, if we go look at Thursday, Thursday. Yeah, look at this. This is fun, isn't it? This is great. This is what we love to trade. So we took out a high up here at 849, whatever news that was. It was probably some tariffs thing, something to do with Trump. Don't know. You know yourself right now. We come down. We're doing a bunch of randomness here at market open. I normally like to see manipulation at market open to sort of drive the move I want to get in, since I normally get in about 9:45 or so. So 9:30 market open. I like to see the manip and then basically confirm it for my entry. So that's normally how it goes for me. So this was just a mess. I'm glad I didn't take a trade today. This is one of the days. Please, if you see a day like this and you just see this, and you see this random 8:49 news candle, and then you see this chop, see multiple manipulations, and then sideways movement, just sit back and watch. There's just no need to. There's no need to talk. There's plenty of days to trade. You've got like 200 and some days of the year to trade. You don't need to waste money here, to be honest. If you look at something and you know, okay, this is low probable, like there's a good chance here that I'm not going to win, why would you do it? Like if you're sitting at a roulette table and I told you this next spin, you only have like a 20% chance to win. Like if I just told you that, would you spin it? You probably wouldn't spin it, would you? If I told you, for example, like the day before Wednesday, and you were about to spin it, and I told you, all right, this is a 70% chance that you'll win, will you spin it? Yeah, you probably will, So, yeah, that's basically, don't trade days like this. And I didn't, and I'm pretty happy with it. Like we had came down SMT, run through the SMT, which is normally, a good continuation model for me. If we run through the SMT and then rebalance to continue down. So that short definitely would have caught me out. But then I suppose at the same time, we took this low to go higher. And then we had an SMT over here to go higher. And then we went higher. And then we souped here. And then we went lower. And then we souped here. And then we pushed up. And then we rebalanced into the order block. And then we went higher. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just a mess. Just don't touch this. Don't touch it at all. And Friday was something similar. I did paper trade Friday. I just didn't want to trade Friday last week, to be honest. Friday's one of the ones where you can end your week on a bad note or a good note. It doesn't even matter. Even if you've had a great trading week, Friday's like the one that affects your weekend, you know what I mean? And I just didn't really want to do that, to be honest. So, especially as I was leaving the next day in the morning to come here. So, yeah. So I did paper trade this, and I took a BE. But I'll be honest with you, in live, I would have took a dub here, because since it was paper, I just didn't care. I was like, I'll just let it roll, and it ended up being a BE, like there. But yeah, basically I just saw a continuation here. 8:30 we pushed up, we're continuing, breaking, retesting, all of that stuff, right? This was a 5 minute, if I remember right. This was a 5 minute, and yeah, I just went for the continuation model. I think we took out a high or something. Oh no, it was this. It's because we broke above this, we closed above, and then rebalanced, and then pushed up again. So it's like, yeah, okay, we're coming for this high. That was my thought process, that we're just gonna come for this high, which we did eventually over here. We literally ticked it, but yeah. Let's say I was in this live, right? Okay, so I was in this live, boom, I got in, put my SL here, my TP there. If I see this come up here, I'm not going to close it, alright? Let it come back down, boom. I wouldn't set BE, by the way, I don't do that. Not really. Like I said, this was paper. And when it was doing this, I just set BE. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to let it do whatever it wants. I don't really care, because it's paper. But when you see this come up again, and do this again, please just close it there. You'll end up probably, you'll probably close it at around 26, 27 points. That's still good, and it's a lot better than just taking a BE for no reason, or taking an SL. You're still making more than you would have lost, So if you see the market reacting this way, creating an SMT, it looking like it's going to go back down before it goes higher, just take the profits, Take the profits. And this isn't none of that closing early BS. People they'll see it go up, it'll spike up quickly. They'll be like, oh, I need to take my money, close early. No, none of that. This is smart closing. This is okay, I see the market reacting. Why would I just stay in this and have just this bias that it will hit 21,870? because it won't always just hit 21,870, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was Friday, and that is the week. So, I don't know how quick I did this, but I did it pretty quick. Literally just in the city, set this all up just to quickly get this done, because, wouldn't miss a week. And yeah, 3 trades, 2 wins, 1 loss, small loss too. And yeah, I think this week is going to be a banger, so off to a good start anyway. See yous.